Canon, Sony, and Nikon are the top performers in the camera industry. But one of these companies is doing better than the rest. Who is that? Are they the market leader? Find out in today's video. Let's start with some numbers. As of August 2021, Canon dominates the market globally with a 47.9% share. And then there's Sony with a 22.1% share, and lastly, Nikon has a 13.7%. According to Japanese news outlet Nikkei, Canon currently dominates nearly half of the market, while Sony covers a quarter. On the other hand, Nikon's share has dropped to around a seventh. A moment of silence for Nikon. What's more interesting is that during this pandemic, Canon and Sony's share has increased by 4.4%, while Nikon's dropped by 4.9%. That's gotta hurt. The stark difference becomes frightening when you consider that Nikkei didn't just focus on DSLR mirrorless cameras, but everything from compact to the latest ones. Also, even with shipments dropping by 40.3% last year, Canon and Sony saw their market share increase. To summarize these stats, Canon and Sony saw growth, especially Canon, and Nikon had to see their shares sink. Besides the global market, Canon and Sony are also dominating the Japanese market. BCN Retail is a Japanese retail firm that has recently announced its award winners. They found that Canon dominated the retail scene with a 34.1% market share, whether DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. Nikon took the second spot in the DSLR camera category with a 33.9% share. However, when it comes to mirrorless cameras, Sony takes the crown with a 32% market share. So it's only natural that Sony will be the top dog in the mirrorless world. They always have focused on such cameras and continues to hone their craft. So even in the Japanese scene, Canon dominates both the DSLR and mirrorless market, and Sony has the mirrorless market. Sadly, Nikon just covers the DSLR market. Numbers and stats aside, who makes the best cameras? Apparently, both Sony and Canon have crowned themselves as the king, and both have data to prove that. So, who sits on the throne? Sony claims they're the best mirrorless camera manufacturer out in the market. On the other hand, Canon calls itself the best digital camera company. Do these claims have any basis, or are they just hollow marketing? Let's have a look. According to the BCN Retail report, Sony is the king of mirrorless cameras with a 32% market share. On the other hand, Canon has a 28% market share in the mirrorless industry. Note that this is regarding mirrorless cameras only. Then again, not all claims can be backed by these numbers, and there is cherry picking. For example, Sony claims to be the king of the full-frame mirrorless camera manufacturers. Well, when you're the only one developing these cameras, then it's true. But that wasn't the case after 2018. So is Canon free from the sins of cherry picking? No. Canon claims that they're the #1 digital camera company. So that includes everything from compact to mirrorless cameras. And with the number of cameras Canon brings every year, it's obvious that they will rank higher. Canon also claims that they are #1 at full-frame cameras. The cherry picking is extraordinary here, as Canon refers to full-frame DSLRs and not mirrorless models. So there's no doubt Canon sold the most full-frame cameras than Sony. All these claims aside, people will buy what they think is the best, and that's all that matters. At this point, we just might need to stay silent for 5 minutes, as Nikon is in 4th place in the mirrorless world, but isn't making significant progress to be in the top 3. You have to understand that Nikon was late to join the mirrorless party, maybe a bit too late. And right now, they're playing catch up with Sony and Canon. For example, the Z6 was made to compete with Sony's A7 III. While releasing competing products isn't the issue, the problem is that the Z6 came out 7 months later than Sony's release. The issues run deeper when you realize that the Z6 has similar specs to the A7 III with nothing more. Then there's the Z7, another competing product with the A7R III. But again, the Z7 came out 1 year after Sony's. To make matters worse, Nikon takes sensors from Sony, so it will always be a few steps behind them. As for the lenses, Canon has an extensive collection of lenses, and Sony has great ones too. But the same can't be true about Nikon. For example, the 58mm f.95 and Noct lens. It's a really fast lens, but do people really need that? For most professionals, f1.2 or 1.4 is fast and sharp enough, and the average customer is happy with an f1.8. So an f.95 sounds great for bragging rights, but doesn't really make the company stand out. Nikon also has a pricing problem, especially with their lenses. Their f1.8 lenses have the price tag of f1.4 lenses, making them extremely expensive for the average customer. In addition, it creates a barrier for newcomers, which will not help Nikon. In the end, the Z6 and Z7 are by no means terrible cameras. They're great, but by no means are they competitive enough. So, who is dominating the camera industry? If you consider every kind of camera, then Canon. But if you consider just mirrorless cameras, it's Sony. So in short, both Canon and Sony have cemented their position in the camera industry. Canon has the best color reproduction in the market, while Sony has the best overall autofocus system. Even with their positions cemented, they constantly spend big bucks in the R&D department. Canon is known for continuously patenting technologies. Nikon was known for their photographic capabilities. Will they claim that spot again? Every data suggests that won't happen, but only time will tell the real story. So that was all about who makes the best cameras. What do you think? Who makes the best cameras? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button.